Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. The new Assassin's Creed bundle was just added to the shop, but is this premium content worth it? Before you spend your money on it, let's take a closer look and see what you get next. The new Assassin's Creed bundle pack can be found under the Digital Content tab in the shop. The bundle consists of a new weapon skin for the VSN 9x19 submachine gun, an Assassin's Creed themed hood for KAPKAN, and also an Assassin's Creed weapon charm. Like other items under the Digital Content tab, this is only purchasable using real-world money. You cannot pick up this bundle pack for either Renown or Rainbow credits. At this time, this retails for $6.99 US, and let's dive in and take a look and see what we get. Beginning with the weapon skin, we can see it's very detailed. We have a strong Assassin's Creed theme that's kind of carried over here from other games. We have white along with kind of like this steel finish and some red trim on it, as well as some of the shapes and logos that we know from the game. Then there's the weapon charm itself. This is actually really straightforward. It doesn't get much more simple than this. We just have the kind of rectangular shape of a tag, and on it is the words Assassin's Creed. Might have been nice to actually see like maybe one of the assassin symbols on there and have it as a three-dimensional shape or something, but I think when you do paid premium content that people are actually putting down real money for instead of Renown, that it might be best if they challenge themselves to put something out that's just a little bit higher quality than simply just a rectangular tag with a word on it. Now let's take a look at the headgear. This gives us the familiar Assassin's Creed hoodie shape, although it is a unique color palette that's more in line with what KAPKAN usually wears. And he has kind of like a kerchief over his mouth there that covers it up along with the Assassin's Creed symbol on it. While most of us think of the Assassin's Creed hoodie as being white in color, I'm glad that they went with a color scheme that keeps more in line with KAPKAN. You don't want to see something that makes him stand out on the battlefield and makes for an easy headshot because it's so much brighter than the rest of his body, so I'm glad that they changed the color scheme to fit. Let's take a look at the setup in-game. As mentioned before, we have a lot of good metal textures on here. They're not so much like a chrome with a real high shine to them. They're more of a slightly subdued, like a steel texture. And it is shiny and it is reflective, but it's not like overly done. It's very tasteful. It's more of a deep, richer kind of a metal. There's lots of engravings in the metal as well as further detail that's in the white sections of the gun. And there's a little bit of red present on the gun, but not too much. You can see on the back portion of the gun, we have the assassin symbol right there, so you can see that very easily. And there's nothing about this gun that really comes across as like being overly silly. It's very tastefully done. Now, one interesting thing to note is that it's listed as the KAPKAN bundle, and the headgear is only for KAPKAN. However, you can also put the same weapon skin on Tachanka. They both share the VSN 9x19 submachine gun in common. So you are getting the ability to put this on at least two different operators, which is nice. As mentioned before, though, the headgear is only for KAPKAN. What makes this especially exciting for me is that it's crossover content. As gamers, we're fans of many different franchises. I mean, I don't think there's very many of us that only follow one or two games. A lot of us are exposed to many titles, and we have an appreciation for a lot of them. So seeing some of our fan favorites make appearances in other games is always kind of an exciting nod to the other things that we like to play. And Ubisoft has a huge library of different franchises to draw off of. But they definitely have other franchises to draw on, and I don't think we want to see anything that's like Just Dance or Raving Rabbids, although I'm sure there's at least a few of you that just thought that was a really great idea now that I said it. But for the rest of us, I think we'd like to maybe see some of the franchises that make some real common sense to make an appearance here show up. Something like Ghost Recon. We have Wildlands coming out next March. And while they might be sitting on a possible tie-in for that until that game gets a little closer to its launch window, it might be nice to even see more than one, so maybe they could do one as a promotional item for that launch, but also maybe have a separate one that's different that they could put out in between now and then. One of the primary operators they show in that game is a guy that has a red t-shirt, a baseball cap, headphones with a microphone on him, and he's got a very big bushy beard. Sounds like a great headgear option maybe for Blackbeard. Or if you don't mind not having the bushy beard present, you know, Ash is already wearing a ball cap and you could put that on her as an option and she could have the headset with the similar Ghost Recon headgear. There's just lots of different things that you can do with that. The big one that I would love to see as a crossover though would be a Splinter Cell trifocal goggle headgear. This would look great on so many operators. I'm thinking like especially somebody like Twitch would look really great in it. Kaveta would be an interesting fit for that given her stealthy nature, although I think it might look a little weird with the skull makeup that accompanies that, but if they'd be willing to do something with that, maybe make it an all black face paint and then put on the trifocal headgear on Kaveta, that would be really sick. It'd actually be cool to see it from more than one operator. Same thing for the Ghost Recon one or any other things they do. Crossover content is always really popular. You can already get the Splinter Cell weapon skin in the game for the P90 if your Uplay account is tied to you already owning that. It will show up as something that you can unlock through the Ubisoft Club. Same with Ghost Recon Future Soldier, you can unlock that for Ash's G36. As long as your Uplay account is associated with you having and owning that game, it should show up as an unlock for you in the Ubisoft Club. So we've already got a little bit of crossover material. But I'd love to see a bundle pack, and even in a bundle pack where we already had maybe an existing skin for Ghost Recon Future Soldier or Splinter Cell, to go ahead and put out even a new themed skin to go with a new bundle pack. That would be really great. I would definitely pick that up. Having a new Splinter Cell skin, a Splinter Cell headgear, and some kind of a charm would be great. Actual legitimate crossover content, I think, is always going to be a win with your fan base. But at the end of the day, what do you guys think? Do you want to see more crossover themed content like this? Are you liking it in the bundle pack presentation, or do you just want to see it as just like a weapon skin only or a headgear only? What do you think about that? Let me know down in the comments below, or you can share with me over on my Facebook or Twitter pages at IcyCat25. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to make sure that you stay up to date on all the latest reviews, news, tips, tricks, walkthroughs, and more for Rainbow Six Siege. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.